Message from Sunnah followers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnah followers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah followers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnah followers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnah Followers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnah Followers, the dollars are Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen guys, this is very important and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
The Maqasidic Tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Pursuing the higher aim, learning the meaning of every page. Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end?
Another addition to your Islamic education, Maqasidic Tafsir, Healing and Governance, the Transformative Path of Sabah as-Tiwal, written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Join Ustad Laila Nasheeba every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m., streaming all major platforms, channel Sunnah Followers.
Okay, here we go. Inna alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to this amazing journey that we are about to embark upon. And that's the journey of the Maqasidic Tafsir, Volume 3. Alhamdulillah, we completed Volume 1 of this series. We completed Volume 2, and now the journey of Volume 3. And yes, this book will detail the 7 most lengthy chapters of the Quran, beginning with Surah Baqarah. But before we get into the details of these 7 most lengthy chapters of the Quran, there's a few basic things that we need to learn and understand about the Quran itself. Number 1, how the Quran was arranged and put together. Every Muslim needs to understand that the Quran, as we are reading it today, this is not the order in which it was arranged. And that's on purpose. This was divinely inspired by Allah. Okay? The Quran was revealed in the manner in which it was revealed for a reason. We have the Meccan period. The Meccan period, these were the years in which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent the beginning of his mission in Mecca. That was the first, when he was first called to Islam as a prophet, as a messenger of Allah. And as the people converted to Islam, just as many of you had, the faith had to be established in their heart. They had to learn what it means to believe in Allah. They had to learn what it means to believe in paradise, to believe in hell. So those years were the formulative years, and those verses or surahs or chapters of the Quran were sent down to strengthen their faith. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And then later, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his followers moved to Medina, that's the Medini period. That's when faith was established. The Muslims were strong in their faith, just like many of you. You've been Muslim for 20 years now. Your faith is established. You've witnessed, you've experienced so many trials, so many hardships in life that you've overcome. So now you can handle the laws. You know, you can do the things that you couldn't do in the beginning. So that's when the laws and rules of governance were sent down. Okay. So after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was during the caliphate of Uthman. May Allah be pleased with him. When Uthman gathered with the remaining companions who were living at that time, and they met and they decided to arrange the Quran in the order in which it is today, they took all of that into consideration, and they were divinely inspired, you know, how to place the chapters, because they were living at the time when those chapters were revealed. They knew the who, what, where, when, why, and where they were in their faith. And so how best to arrange the chapters. And so that's how we have the book that we have today, the Mus'haf that we have today. But we're going to go over this. I'm just basically summarizing what we're going to spend the next 2 weeks basically going into a little bit more detail of, because it's important for us to understand the arrangement of this sacred book that we live by. Okay. And then we'll go into each chapter of the Quran and the message that is held within each chapter. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And again, before I start, let me share with everyone, because I am streaming on 20 different platforms. I am streaming simultaneously on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Twitch. I am also streaming live now on Kick. A couple of you requested that I stream on Kick. Well, I'm streaming on Kick now too. Okay, I'm also streaming on Rumble. And I am also now streaming on the platform known as Bijou, which is better than TikTok. TikTok just banned me again. You know, they can keep TikTok. TikTok doesn't like Laila Nasheeba. Well, so what? With all the filth that's on it, I don't like them either. So, other than TikTok, I'm banning on all the other major platforms. And look for channel Sunnah followers, all one word. Or the best thing that I would suggest everyone do, especially the people on Bijou, because Bijou is nice enough to allow me to stream as long as I am not using a third party. They want to see my face and all of that, you know, so they see me. I'm here. It's me. And but the downside to that is you guys don't get to see my beautiful PowerPoint. So what I suggest all of you listening to me on Bijou do is on your phone, open up a tab to YouTube, and you can watch me live. Go to my channel Sunnah followers, or you can type my name, Laila Nasheeba, and my live will appear. Click on the live, turn the sound, mute the sound, so that way you don't hear me. You can just listen to me here on Bijou and just watch me. That's me. You see me live with the PowerPoint. Watch me live on YouTube, and that way you can see all my beautiful background. That's Dr. Karim Abuzaid. He's the one who's the author of the books that I am using. And by the way, this is the book. For those of you on Bijou, you want to get a copy of this book. This is the Maqasidic Tafsir, Volume 3. Go to Amazon.com. This is the second edition. This is the yellow book. You want to purchase this book. This class is held every Tuesday and Thursday. And by the way, another announcement. Saturday and Sunday, which is this weekend, I'll be teaching the other Maqasidic Tafsir of his, entitled The Maqasidic Tafsir of Surat Ibrahim. So you want to buy that book too on Amazon, because that class will begin this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at 9:30. So that's Dr. Yes, you know who that is, brother? Good. That's Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Yes, we're together here. I'm teaching his books. Exactly. Oh, well, may Allah bless you too. You know the information here is bona fide. Exactly. This is his book. Yes, pass it on. Thank you. All right, so this is what we're teaching here. So for those of you on Bijou, please open up another tab on YouTube so y'all can see the PowerPoint, because the thing about these books that I'm teaching from, you can't teach yourself. You're going to have an Islamic educator such as myself to break this stuff down to you, because you're not going to understand this information unless you are learned from the people of knowledge. So it's best to watch me on television. If you got a TV at home, turn me on your big screen TV and have your children watch. Oh, yes. The family can watch me at home. Yes, the children. Put it on channel Laila Nasheeba or Sunnah followers. Exactly. All right. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And I'm going to give y'all a quiz today to start us off with from the last time we met. And it's just one question. And you guys should be able to answer it, because I told you guys I would ask this as your question, as your quiz for today. So let's take a look at it. And I know I got moderators in Zoom. Please handle that. That's not Bijou. That's Zoom. Okay. It's always Zoom. Y'all know it's always Zoom. Okay. Yeah, this is the, yeah. And by the way, yes, this is the way the book looks. Can y'all see it? Take a picture of this and take screenshots. For those of you who have your cell phones, make sure y'all take screenshots of the PowerPoint. So that way you can print, and hold on, let me make this larger. That way you guys can print. You guys can print the PowerPoint out. You guys can print the PowerPoint out at the end of the class. So that way you can print it out and read the PowerPoint and have it. All right. Make sure everything's cool. Okay. Everybody see that? All right. So here we go. This is the question. Only one today. What is the difference? What is the difference between the Quran and the Mus'haf?
Okay. The Quran is the word of Allah, the speech of Allah. The Mus'haf is the book that is put in.
Okay, do you guys agree with her answer?
Agree.
Anybody disagree? What do you guys think on? Good job. What do you guys think on YouTube? Okay, Aya said the Quran is Allah's words, same as Fresno. She said his lessons to us. She went into a little bit more. The Mus'haf is the physical text. She said the Mus'haf is the physical text of the verses, same thing. She said the Mus'haf can be the entire book or just a couple of verses. Same thing. Good job. Good job. Both of you are correct. Both of you are correct. Good job. Good job. So I want you guys to remember that. I want you guys to remember that because a lot of us, especially the new shahadas, and by the way, Sister Laila, what you do is click on your box and then click where it says camera, and that will disconnect your camera or whatever. Click on camera and that'll cut your camera off. Sister Geechee, help her to cut off her camera. You know, text her in Zoom and tell her how to cut off her camera. There she goes. She got it. Yes, good job. Okay, I want you guys to remember a lot of the new shahadas get caught up in Arabic. They'll ask me, what is a Mus'haf? Mus'haf is simply book. That's all. Book. In plain English, a book. The Quran are the words of Allah. I want you guys to remember that. The Quran is the words of Allah. The Quran is not the creation of Allah. I don't want none of you Muslims to get that twisted. The Quran are the words of Allah. It's not a creation of Allah. I don't want any of you to have that Sufi ideology. You'll come upon a lot of Sufi people out there who will tell you that the Quran is a creation of Allah. This is incorrect. The Quran, even Allah says, is his kalam, his speech, his words. So remember that. Quran means the words of Allah. Mus'haf is simply a book that holds the words. Something that contains his words. Something that his words are written on. You guys understand that? A lot of sisters will come to me A lot of you new shahadas will ask, Sister Laila, can I touch the Quran when I am on my menses? This is a question that I get a lot. Can a woman touch the Quran when she's on her menses? Can a woman recite the Quran when she's on her menses? We get this question a lot. You will hear some people say, no, she should not touch the mushaf on her menses. And then you will even hear some people say, oh, she shouldn't recite the Quran on her menses. This is incorrect. Aisha, radiallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet, she used to recite the Quran on her menses. Salama used to recite the Quran on her menses. There is no verse in the Quran, nor is there any authentic hadith on the planet that says a woman cannot recite the Quran on her menses. Now, in regards to touching the mushaf, you have different opinions about that. You will find some scholars who say she shouldn't touch it. You will find others who say she should. When you add that she can, you will find me. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you why even worry about it. You have a cell phone. Read the Quran off your cell phone and you don't have to worry about it. This is 2025. You don't have to worry about touching the Quran on your menses. All you got to do is download it and read it off your phone. Read it off your computer. Read it off your tablet. So what are you worried about? Easy. The religion is easy. I want all Muslims to remember Islam is easy. We don't need to make it hard on ourselves. Okay? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in an authentic hadith. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari. Anyone who has common sense can understand this religion. All it takes is common sense. So there's no need for us to make this religion hard. So the Quran are the words of Allah. It's not a creation. It's the words of Allah. The mushaf is just something that contains it. Good job. So now let's get to today's lecture. And I want everybody to pay attention to the PowerPoint. Make sure you take screenshots. Make sure you have a notebook to write stuff down. And any questions that you have, hold them for the end of the lecture. The Quran is not just the words of Allah, but these words also contain a lot of deep wisdom. Wisdom given to us by Allah. And that wisdom is embedded in the arrangement of the Quran. Okay? And that's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that when we read it or we hear it being recited, to ponder, to think about what we're listening to, think about what we're reading. Because the Quran's structure is marked by a thematic rather than a chronological sequence. And it reveals meticulous, divine intents that address the spiritual and the moral and the intellectual development of its audience. And the Quran never is outdated. This is very important. Because nowadays, you will hear some people, including Muslims, you will hear some so-called Muslims tell you, oh, the Quran is outdated, when it's not. Being that the Quran are the words of Allah, its arrangement is not arbitrary, but instead its arrangement is imbued with deep considerations for the development of our faith and for the nature of its audience. Remember, guys, Allah is the creator. He created us. He knew what was going to happen from the time he created us until the end of time. Everything that's happening in the world today until the last hour, he already knew it would happen because he's the one who willed it to happen. Everything that's happening in the world today, everything that happened in the past, everything that will happen in the future is gonna happen and is happening and did happen because Allah willed it to happen. So that's what makes the Quran diverse and appeal to the audience despite the era, despite the year, despite the time. And the wisdom of its arrangement guides the reader in deriving meaning from the verses and from the groups of verses and from the overriding theme of its chapters. So it's never outdated. We cannot say, oh, a woman doesn't have to cover up. That's from the old days. What do you mean it's from the old days? Women are women. Men are men. Men today are no different than how they were back in the 6th century. Women today have not changed from being how they were back in the 6th century. A man is a man is a man. And he still don't care about how you look. Put a bag on you and tip you over, and all he cares about is what's underneath. So what does that mean? You still have to cover up, sister. It's for your protection. Allah sent down the verses of hijab as a protection for women. Like he says, you do not know the evil that runs through the veins of man. Men don't change, subhanallah. So again, guys, that's the wisdom. That's the wisdom of the Quran. It's never outdated. So the thematic arrangement of the Quran supports our journey of faith. And it also supports our understanding as human beings. The Quran offers a deep guide as to how to live a life in harmony with Allah's will by weaving together themes of faith, ethics, legislation, and human stories. Allah tells us about what happened to the people that came before us. And when you ponder the stories of people like the Ad, the Thamud, the people of Moses, the people of Solomon, the people of David, the people of Jonah, you find that they're not much different than us. People are still people. People still have the same hopes, the same strengths, the same weaknesses that they succumb to. So this guidance is not just for an individual's salvation, but the guidance that Allah gives us in that Quran is for societies, will help save societies if we would just ponder and pay attention to what Allah is saying and apply it. But again, if only man would take heed. And Allah tells us that over and over and over in so many verses of the Quran. If only man would take heed. He tells us over and over and over in many verses, only the believers take heed. For those of us who do believe in Allah, we're the ones who integrate into our faith and our daily life the laws, the rules, and guidance of Allah. But unfortunately, most of us don't believe in him. That's why there's going to be more of us in hell than there is in paradise. So the Quran is put together, is arranged as it is from the wisdom of Allah, and it applies to humans of all times, all eras, and it's a comprehensive guide. And this strategic arrangement ensures the Quran's role as a guide, that even history can't dispel. Culture cannot dispel. It gives solace and peace to those who are in need of it. It inspires upliftment when times are hard. It gives us direction to navigate the complexities of life. Subhanallah, there's nothing that we are experiencing today in 2025 that has not already been experienced throughout history. War. There's always been war. Subhanallah, we can learn from others who came before us how to handle ourselves in war. The thematic organization of the Quran, enables us to address the challenges of life with wisdom. The wisdom behind the Quran, remember, it comes from Allah. It's Allah's way of giving us insight if we would only take heed to his wisdom. The Quran, these are Allah's words, and they are a testament to us to provide comfort and inspiration, to invite us, those of us who believe in Allah, into a dynamic relationship with him, where he encourages us to reflect, to grow, and to adhere to a way that can lead us to personal fulfillment, not only in this world, but in the hereafter. But again, how many of us will take advantage of this? We get caught up in the life of this world. We make the same mistakes that the people of the Ad did, the Thamud, the Madians, the people of Jonah, the people of Moses, the people of Solomon, the people of Lot. We make the same mistakes that they did. We get caught up in the glamour of this dunya, of this world. Subhanallah. So now what I want to do is speak briefly about the compilation of the Quran. Remember, the revelation of the Quran was very monumental. The Quran was not revealed in one day. I remember during the month of Ramadan, one of the new shahadas asked me. She thought that the Quran was sent down in one night. She thought that the Quran was sent down during the night of Qadr. She misunderstood what that meant. When we speak about the night of decree, the night of Qadr, that's the night that the Quran was completed. Allah completed it. That's the night that the angel Jibril had completed the revelation with our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it took 23 years, 23 years for the revelation to occur. And the revelation began in Mecca, and it did not end until the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had migrated to Medina. And as I spoke about briefly in the beginning of this lecture, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the call to prophethood, he was in Mecca, and Allah had to nurture the heart of the faithful. Remember, Allah tells us in the Quran, just because we say we're Muslim is not enough. Just because we say we believe in him is not enough. We have to prove it. We have to cultivate our faith. So those years in Mecca were spent building their faith, developing their faith. So the chapters of the Quran that were sent down in the beginning, while the Prophet was in Mecca, these were verses and chapters of the Quran to help strengthen their faith, teaching them about Tawheed, what it means to believe in Allah, teaching them about paradise, teaching them about death, about the punishment of the grave and things like that to strengthen their fear of Allah. It wasn't until the Muslims migrated and moved to Medina that Allah sent down the laws. For example, the laws of hijab. How many of you knew this? The verses of hijab did not come down until after the Battle of Badr. That was in Medina. The verses commanding the Muslims to not drink alcohol did not come down either until after the Battle of Badr. That was in Medina. So the laws about governance and justice and inter-community relations, all of that came in Medina. But the first years of development were laws dealing with paradise, hell, faith, and all of that. And we're going to go into detail about that in this series. So the Quranic compilation transcends the chronological order, presenting a thematic arrangement that aligns with the Muslim community's evolving spiritually and society-wise. And that's how Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, and the companions with him decided on how they would arrange it. Okay? And this strategic arrangement ensures the Quran's timeless relevance because it guides us through the diverse challenges. The sequence from Al-Fatiha to An-Nas exemplifies the Quran's comprehensive nature. It guides us in our spiritual growth and in how to build a just moral community. And that right there, you can tell, had to be inspired by Allah. What human alone could think of that, to start off the first chapter with praising, glorifying Allah? That's Al-Fatiha. Asking Allah, begging Allah to keep you guided upon the straight path. And from there to Baqarah, and then the family of Imran, all the way through to An-Nas. Subhanallah. They had to be inspired by Allah to put it in order like that. Subhanallah. And also, when you look at the order that these chapters were placed, you see the link between personal transformation and the society's well-being. Because our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam illustrated through his actions that the strength of a leader lies in his character and his ability to inspire positive change. And these companions were with him. That's how they knew how to place those chapters, because they saw how he inspired change. They witnessed it. They witnessed how his leadership was marked by deep commitment to the well-being of his community, how his leadership advocated the rights of everyone, them first and foremost, and then those who were not even Muslims, and how he strove for social justice. Okay? He taught them that government teaches us that the path to society reform begins with the individual. Remember, Allah says he will never change the condition of a people until the people change the condition within themselves. The Prophet taught the companions that we have to change the condition within ourselves, like right now. What's happening now? The war that's going on. We got the war against Islam in its beginning stages already. It's spread it all over. It done went past Gaza now to Pakistan. It's going all over. It's already been through Africa, just like the Prophet said it would do. It began in Iraq and Afghanistan and Bosnia, and now look where it's at. This is the war against Islam. It didn't begin with Gaza. This war began under the Bush regime. Okay? It's just spreading like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it would. The Prophet said whenever Allah sends war, he sends it for several reasons. He sends it to cleanse the earth of bad, corrupt Muslims. He sends it as a result of us abandoning al-wala wal-bara. We brought it on ourselves. We're not upholding the principles of allegiance and disassociation. So this is a punishment that Allah has brought upon us for not upholding al-wala wal-bara as we're supposed to. So he's cleansing the earth of bad, corrupt Muslims. And also he sends war as a means of testing the true believers with something better than all this filth of this world. Okay? So Allah is keeping his word. He's doing what he said he would do. And like the Prophet said, if you live to see war, the only way you can stop it, the only way you can change it is to change yourself. And the only way to change it is by turning back to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, turning back to that shahada, to al-wala wal-bara. And we Muslims are not doing that. We're not living al-wala wal-bara. So that's why this war will continue to spread until all 80 of those nations will sign that treaty that the Prophet said they will sign, declaring war against Islam in totality. This war is not going to stop. This is the war against Islam. So, again, our Prophet taught us that society reform begins with the individual. And when the individual fails to reform himself, what happens? Allah promises us that he will punish us all. But he also promises he will raise us all and judge us individually. Just like what you see and happening today. All the Muslims around the world who are dying as a result of the war, they will be raised up and judged individually. So by nurturing a deep connection with Allah, and by cultivating moral virtues, and by actively working towards self-improvement, this is how individuals contribute to creating a society that reflects the highest ideals of Islam. It's a society where governance is not merely about laws and policies, but about fostering a community spirit that honors the dignity of every human being, subhanallah. So during the initial Meccan phases, guys, and that took 13 years, over those 13 years of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's mission, the revelation centered on Tawheed, which is what I am teaching you guys. That is what my dawah. I've been teaching Islam for over 50 years. I've been teaching Islam on the internet since 1986. Do the Google. Sunnah followers. We've been teaching Islam on the internet since 1986. And we focus on Tawheed, Aqidah. Because that's what it's all about, guys. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized Tawheed. He emphasized vivid depictions of paradise and hell. These are the things that build your faith. These are the things that will cause us to submit. What does the word Muslim mean? Muslim is a person who submits to Allah. You have to fear Allah's punishment. You have to have love for Allah. With that love for him and that fear of his punishment, that's what's going to cause you to submit and obey his commands and stay away from what he commands you to stay away from. Those companions spent 13 years learning that. And once they mastered that, that's when Allah sent the laws of hijab and not drinking and all that other stuff. Okay? So this revelatory process, it resonates eternally with the believers. And it begins with the 4 significant chapters, which are Baqarah, Ali Imran, Surah Nisa, and El Ma'idah. And that's why Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, when Uthman, Ali, and Ibn Abbas, and all the companions who were living at that time met, that's why they decided, take notes, that's why they decided to put the Quran in that order, to start with Al-Fatiha, then Al-Baqarah, then Ali Imran, then Anisa, and then El Ma'idah, because these chapters of the Quran here, they focus on faith building. They focus on developing your love and your fear of Allah to help you to submit. And today, when you look at the contemporary Muslims of today, many of them find themselves trying to navigate the complexities of life. So how many of us find comfort, in these type of surahs, in reading Al-Baqarah and Ali Imran and Anisa? How many of us sisters, we're having problems in our marriage? You feel like your husband is not giving you your rights as a wife. You're not reading Iqra. The first words revealed were Iqra. Iqra is at the back of the book. You're not going to Iqra. You're going to the front to Anisa to hear about that. Your rights as a woman and how Allah created you equal to man. Or you're going to Al-Baqarah, because Surah Al-Baqarah got many verses about women too in there. So again, nowadays, you're going through a rough period. You want to know what food, to eat and all that. We're going to El Ma'idah. So y'all see the hikmah, the wisdom that those companions use and how they were inspired by Allah to put that Quran in order. They didn't start it with Iqra. They started with Al-Fatiha, then Al-Baqarah, Ali Imran, Anisa, the story of Jesus, the story of the family of Imran. That's the 2nd chapter of the Quran, hearing about Mary's mother, Mary's father, subhanallah, the family of Imran, subhanallah, Mary's mother, subhanallah. So again, this is the guidance. The guidance of these chapters not only reaffirm our identity as Muslims, but they also revitalize our role and advocate the values of Islam. Subhanallah, what wisdom. Also, the flexibility of guidance in the Quran across time, and place underscores Islam's completeness too. The structure of the book contributes to the believer's post-prophetic role as trustees of Allah's religion. This duty involves being a testament to humanity, of the justice, the mercy, and the integrity. Subhanallah. These chapters in the beginning of the Quran, they advocate justice. They advocate not being racial, not being discriminatory, and all of that. These beginning chapters talk about those type of things. Subhanallah. A life of balance, a life of fairness. a life of principles. These early chapters in the beginning of the Quran, they speak about character, honesty, having good scruples, good morals, being modest, being just in your dealings with others. It talks about the rights of inheritance, being the mahrams of the woman, you know, all of that, suckling of children, things like that. That's all contained in these first chapters of the Quran. So again, the wisdom. So again, guys, a lot of people will come to us as Muslims with all these weird questions like, if Iqra was the first words revealed to your prophet, why doesn't your book begin with that? Because it wasn't the will of the Creator. It was the will of the Creator to organize and arrange the book in the order that it's in. So that way the Quran would be timeless. So that when you pick it up and read it, it will help to guide you to build your faith, your belief, your honor, your character, your principles. And then later take you into the laws, into the rules, and all of that. Because it's all about character anyway. It's all about honor anyway. Laws and rules are nothing if a man has no honor, if a man has no character, if a man has no dignity. Subhanallah. Allah. He's the one behind everything. Remember, Islam, our way of life, was completed and perfected by Allah. This is not a man-made religion. Our way of life was perfected, inspired, and completed by a being much higher and greater than any human. And that's Allah, the one, the only. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? And by the way, for the people on the other platforms on Bijou, if you guys have a question or comment, you can take that stage thing and ask too. And any questions on YouTube or go ahead too. Walaikum salam, Osama. Go ahead.
I've been a part of listening to what you were speaking of, right? Now, you have said that men are evil or very symbolic to that nature, right? Now, in the Bible, or the Quran verses, in the Bible, it states that the man comes from a woman's rib, ain't it? Or the woman comes from a man's rib, something like that? Something like that, the man comes from a woman's rib. Ain't that correct?
Okay, you know, now Mina, y'all know I don't understand his accent good. What's he saying? Asking me, Mina? Go ahead, Mina.
In the Bible, it says that the woman comes from, the woman comes from the rib of the man, or vice versa. Is that correct? Where is he? I think he left. Brother Osama?
He left out.
He wanted to get some clarity on that, but he left. I don't know if he had anything else he wanted to say.
He's at work.
He couldn't understand what he was saying. So. No, I understood what he was saying.
Yeah, just have them interpret for me, because y'all know this that raggedy phone too, Fresno. His accent, but
it's like he looked. You can't really hear him. He needs to step up some and hear. But you can hear him a little bit of what he's saying. So he understood a little bit. So
I got him. When he come back in, let me know. I can answer it. Okay, thanks, Geechee.
Okay.
I'll answer it.
His mic was muffled too.
Plus he works at that place like he like the twins, and I think they underground. And that they sound gets like that's how the twins sound on their thing. That UPS, whatever that is. Yeah.
You probably can tell him if you come in my live, if he been in there, you can answer his question.
Yeah, if he don't come back in. And yeah, any other questions? Go ahead. Okay, Fatima. Okay, just what we said today. That's why they put them in those. For example, the Bakra, Ali Imran, Nisa. They put those surahs like that because those surahs of the Quran address faith. That's why they arranged them that way. Those surahs of the Quran will help to address your iman. They speak about building your faith in Allah. They talk about paradise. They talk about hell. They talk about Allah. Those are surahs that will help to build your faith, your belief in Allah. That's why they put those surahs first instead of putting in Iqra and all of them other ones. And also Fatiha. Fatiha is first, then Surah Baqarah, then Ali Imran. Those are all surahs of the Quran that help build your iman, your hope, your love for Allah, your fear of his punishment, your hope of his mercy, and all of that. Yeah, that's why. It builds your love. Remember, the Prophet Muhammad said you will never be a believer unless you have love, hope, and fear. They arranged it like this because these seven surahs come first because these seven surahs build your love, hope, fear of Allah. Yeah. Any other questions? And just to answer his question, guys, y'all know the woman comes from the rib of the man. She comes from the most crooked most part of a man's rib. And this is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us to not be so hard on a woman. A lot of you brothers, you marry women and you are too hard on your wives. You're trying to change her. You shouldn't try to change a woman. You know, women are not men. And a lot of you brothers, you call yourselves giving advice to your wife. But instead of advising her, you're changing her. And you're trying to take her away from the nature of herself. And when you try to change her and take her away from the nature of herself, you break her. You end up breaking her as a person. So that's why the Prophet said, don't bend her. Don't try to, he's talking about changing her. You try to change her too much, you're going to break her. You're going to break her spirit. We're all women are different. We're not the same. Some of us are stronger than others. There's different qualities about us. And a lot of you brothers try to make a woman into another woman. I'm not like that sister over there. That sister over there is not me. Don't try to make me be like your first wife because I'm not her. Don't make her be like me. She's not me. You're trying to take away my nature. If I like to smile, if I'm a funny, humorous woman, don't try to strip me of my humor. You know, she's a person that likes to, she's a serious woman. You know, don't strip her of that. You're trying to change her and you're going to break her. You're going to make her a broken woman where she can't laugh. She can't be serious anymore. She's not herself. She's just nothing. She's just a woman that just stares out in space. She can't laugh. She can't smile. How many of you men have broken women by trying to change them and make them to be someone that they're not? That's the problem. A lot of broken women, broken by men. Learn to accept women the way they are. You can advise them, but don't change them. That's the key. The Prophet Muhammad never tried to change a woman. You brothers try to change them and break them. You want to take away my humor. You want to take away what makes me, me, and turn me into some deadbeat woman. That ain't good. You broke me. I'm broken. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to laugh, whether to cry. I'm just, this is me. Scared to do anything. Okay, today's lecture was not 7 surahs that were mentioned of focus. Today's class was just about the order of the Quran. We didn't go into detail about any surahs. Today we focused in on why the Quran is arranged in the order that it is. Why is it that the Quran begins with Al-Fatiha? Why does it not begin with Iqra? Why is it that the Quran was not arranged in the order in which it was revealed? That's what today's class is about. You understand? And so the answer is today is that the Quran was put in the order that is put in because when Uthman radiallahu anha decided and the other companions met, they decided to place the Quran in this order based on building faith. If you look at the chapters of the Quran, Baqarah, Ali Imran, Ma'idah, Nisa, these chapters all build your iman. They focus on Tawheed. They focus on building your relationship with Allah, strengthening your iman. Okay? And also they got some laws and rules in there too. The rules of women and rights of wives and rights of women and stuff too. But these were put in that order on purpose to build your faith, also tell you what's expected of you as a wife, as a woman, what your rights are. You know, it was divinely inspired. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I was saying that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you will never be a believer unless you have love, hope, and fear of Allah. And they have to be in equal proportions. And the way the Quran is structured, the way it is structured now, you know, the way it is, it helps to build your love, hope, and fear of Allah. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, tomorrow is oh, by the way, guys, Geechee, this brother Youssef, is he doing the same thing tomorrow?
I have no idea unless you shoot him an email. I have no idea.
I think he is, because it's easy for him. Lord have mercy. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do like I did last week. I'm just going to go on Google and just write down news stories and put them on and that thing for him tomorrow. And tell him to write them down because
yeah, we'll figure it out tomorrow, inshallah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, these brothers think that I'm going to sit here and go back and forth with them and make it easy for them. They don't know. Laila got too much going on. Oh, any other questions, guys? By the way, guys, please support us. You know, the first is this weekend, is in fact in a couple of days. You know, we need your donations for the to help support this dawah effort. Please Cash App us, or you can Zelle us, or you can PayPal. Cash App, PayPal, please, please, guys, support us. All right, yeah, I forgot about him. He's tomorrow, right? Oh God, I'm gonna have to do that tonight.
Yep, he's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and right before your Q&A.
Oh, he changed his time too. His class time changed.
Again?
Yep, he changed it to 7:30. Oh, here's Brother Usama. He's back. Brother Usama.
Yes.
Did I give you your answer? Did you hear my answer? Brother Usama, can you hear me? Yes. The woman. You want me to give your answer?
He said, hold on, let him put his Bluetooth on, because he at work.
Oh, he's at work. Okay.
Listen, Laila.
Wait a minute, hold on, Sabrina. He's sneaking at work. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. You want me to? Okay, I can answer. You want me to answer now?
Yeah. Now listen to what Sugar says.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, I said the man is the most evil creature, this, that, and third, yada, 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 X, Y, Z. Okay. I'm not agreeing, but I'm not disagreeing. So
I didn't say man was evil.
I do want to say one thing. If the woman comes from the man, most evil and great part, or whatever you want to call it, right? Then what that makes the woman?
Oh no, I didn't say man was evil. No. No, let me clean it up. No, man ain't evil. No, the woman comes from the crookedmost part of the man's rib. That's correct. But my thing is, the prophet said, don't bend a woman too hard, because if you bend a woman too hard, you will break her. That's what the prophet said. And what bending her means, changing her. Don't try to change her. You can correct her, give her advice, but don't try to change her into something that she's not, because you're going to break her.
You know, I believe to just get more clearer, better verification, I'm going to go to the one-on-one. I'm going to inbox you my number. And you can call me private, it doesn't matter. You know, if you don't want to have your number, that's cool with me, it doesn't matter. But I believe it's a topic that we discuss with ourselves, so you can clear it and start getting a better understanding.
Mm-hmm. Well, ain't nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, she's not trying to debate, sister. She's not trying to debate, brother. She just teaching. She's not going to give you her number or anything. She just teaching.
Okay, go ahead, Sabrina.
I was just asking what pages, because I was in the hospital, so I was.
Oh, this is the introduction. We're in the introduction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had began the introduction, and then.
Yeah, they don't have any page numbers, just the introduction, talking about the compilation of the Quran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's page 16, Sister Laila.
Is that the yellow book?
Ours in the book.
She got the yellow book.
Page 16.
Oh, page 16, she
page
said.
16.
16.
Page 16?
Uh-huh.
And then on page
I got
21.
the big book, you know that, right?
Yeah, she said it's 16.
Yeah.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Brother Usama, yeah, there's good and bad in everything. You got some bad women and you got bad men, but that's just how humans are. There's good women and there's good men. Just inshallah, just be patient. You're a good man, you work. I see you at work every day, and you need to just make dua. Ask Allah to bless you with a good sister. There's a lot of good women out there who are looking for men like you who work, who can provide and maintain. I don't think you have any children. You'll probably make somebody a good husband. Just make dua and ask Allah to guide you and send you a righteous woman, and Allah will answer, because you seem like a good guy. Yeah, you'll find a good wife. Just don't get hooked up with a bad one, because there are some bad women out there. I can tell you that, bro. But you're a good brother. You don't need to be taken advantage of. Remember, righteous men are for righteous women. I think he works too much. He's too tired. Is his family Muslim too, Mina?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's down there with Sheikh Atlee. He's down there in South Carolina. You can find you a not a nice sister if you go to Columbia, South Carolina.
I don't have no family. It's just me, myself, and I. And I do have one daughter, and she's 19 years old.
You got a daughter?
Mashallah.
He said he got a daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mashallah.
19 years old.
Oh, mashallah. He's got a 19-year-old daughter. You got a 19?
I ain't a young guy. I'm a young guy. I just look young. I'm 37, I'm 45. I used to do them things. I was doing down to nothing. What did I do?
Mashallah.
Oh, he looks young. He's 45.
I just think that's it. And every now and then I still weed. I ain't down. I don't do down to the half of them. I said, hold my money and everything.
You in South Carolina. Yeah, there's some good Muslims down there.
Why? Because the man did not do the proper job at this shit.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. A lot of these men don't work, don't take care of their wives. You need to check out South Carolina, Columbia, Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atlee's community. A lot of single women there.
Yeah, all right, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I don't want a silly woman. I want a real woman. Because every female is a female, every female is a woman, but I don't want just any woman. I want a specific woman. I want a good woman. People don't want to do none of that. I'm ready for weed, but think that's disgusting. I like these rent $7 a week, $250 every day. I got to fail.
Okay. Okay, guys. Well, make sure that you guys are here tomorrow. We got the Q&A show tomorrow night at 9:30, and we got Brother Yusuf, Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, Shalom Laila Haila Anta Astaghfiruka wa Atubu Ilayk.